Hey guys, let us get more news about Miami Heat, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Heat announcer made wild mistake during game against Warriors. The Miami Heat's play-by-play announcer apparently misread the media notes during Tuesday's game. Heat commentator Eric Reed went viral during Miami's contest against the Golden State Warriors for the mistake that he made in the second quarter. After Warriors forward Andrew Wiggins scored a basket, Reed talked about Wiggins' performance in the 2022 finals against the Boston Celtics, saying that it came in a losing effort. Andrew Wiggins, a guy who averaged 18 points and 9 rebounds a game in the 2022 NBA Finals, which they lost to the Celtics, said Reed. Several seconds later, Reed then dug himself into an even deeper hole. 2 years ago, it was Boston in 6 to win it all, Reed added. Here is the video. Of course, it was the Warriors who won it all in 6 games over the Celtics that year. While Reed eventually acknowledged his screw-up on the air after halftime, that was still a pretty wild one to make, and then somehow double down on. Reed deserves some slack though. He is one of the longest-tenured announcers in the sport and has been with the Heat since their inaugural season in 1988-89, including as their TV play-by-play guy since 1991. At least that wasn't the worst Celtics-related mistake that we have seen this NBA season. Los Angeles Lakers news: LeBron James reveals he overruled Darvin Ham vs. Clippers. Even in his pro basketball dotage, All-NBA Los Angeles Lakers forward LeBron James can still be an impressive two-way force when properly motivated. The 6'9" superstar remains an elite offensive talent in 2023-24 for the 40-32 Lakers, but he hasn't been able to muster up the all-defensive tenacity that made him such a formidable force on that floor every night in his Miami Heat era prime. Let's talk about the offense for a second. In 62 games, James is averaging 25.4 points on .530/.406/.751 shooting splits, 8.1 assists, and 7.2 rebounds. His scoring efficiency from the floor is up both generally and from deep. If he keeps up this long-range conversion rate, it'll be tied with his 2012-13 title-winning Heat stint as his best percentage ever, albeit on 2 more attempts a night, 5.3. But he was happy to defend another future Hall of Fame forward who's been a Finals MVP for multiple franchises earlier this season. James helped the Lakers storm back from a 21-point fourth-quarter deficit on February 28, single-handedly outdueling the Clippers in the frame on offense, 19-16. That output included 5 threes. He also stepped up on defense, draping himself all over Clippers all-star Kawhi Leonard, like it was the 2013 and 14 Spurs Heat NBA Finals all over again. During today's episode of their essential, very hoops-nerdy podcast, Mind the Game, James unpacked the choice to elevate on defense for the contest with co-host and former Clippers shooting guard, J.J. Redick. His decision to do so essentially went against the defensive prep of head coach Darvin Ham. We had switching built-in versus Kawhi and versus James, Harden, and whatever the case may be, and I vetoed it in the second half, James said. Because I know T. Lue more than any other player that's been with T. Lue, and I know he plays target ball too. It got to a point, in order for us to get back into the game, switching anybody onto Kawhi is not favorable for us. So I might as well get ready for the Wizards. So I vetoed it. When challenged by Redick as to whether or not he could handle elite defensive coverages game in and game out at his age, he's 39, and playing in his 21st NBA season, James was candid. At 39, with I think I have like 70,000 minutes, he has 67,929 combined regular season and postseason minutes. I was explaining to my wife the other day, she asked me how am I feeling when I came home after the game. I said, babe, just imagine buying a 2003 Escalade and it's 2024 and you've never changed the tires. So rub my feet please, James chuckled. And I've never changed the tires. These are the same tires from 2003. So can I do it every night? I don't want to say I can do it for a whole game. I mean, I'll take the challenge, for sure, but that's just because I'm a competitor. I was born that way, I was taught that way. I'll die on the court because I just love it so much. Am I being realistic? I've got to pick my spots. Definitely got to pick my spots. Why Klay Thompson's resurgence is key to Warriors holding off Rockets for play-in spot. Next to Stephen Curry and Draymond Green, Klay Thompson has always been a vital part of the Golden State Warriors championship equation. After all, his name is right next to Steph, Ray Allen, and Reggie Miller as one of the greatest shooters in the history of the NBA. However, the 2023-24 season has not been kind to Thompson and the Warriors, as they have put themselves in a position late in the season where a few losses could result in them falling out of the Western Conference playoff and play-in tournament race. Ahead of Tuesday night's game against the Miami Heat, the Warriors faced a scenario where they truly needed to pick up a win. Perhaps this wasn't a must-win game for the Warriors, but it was as close to one as this team had faced all season. With the Houston Rockets creeping up on Golden State in the standings, the championship pedigree of this organization showed up in South Beach. The Warriors defeated the Heat 113-92 in a game that they controlled from the opening tip. Confidence has been a problem for the Warriors all season, especially for Thompson. Yet, it was Klay who did the heavy lifting for his team in this game. Could this be the game everyone looks back on and points to the Warriors getting their swag back? For Thompson, this may just be the game that turns around his recent misfortunes. In the Warriors' 21-point win over the Heat on Tuesday night, Thompson notched a team-high 28 points on 6 of 14 shooting from deep after being put back into the starting lineup by head coach Steve Kerr. This marked the sixth time in March that Thompson had eclipsed the 20-point mark in a game, and his third time in his last 6 games. Throughout the 2023-24 season, Thompson has struggled with his jump shot at times. His 38.3 three-point percentage this season is currently the lowest of his career. Even with all of the noise surrounding his scoring abilities and the Warriors' chances of making the playoffs, Thompson remained locked in for the task at hand. Not really, Thompson said in regards to being added back to the starting lineup via Clutch Points Jack Winter. I just try to keep the same approach. Have fun, communicate, get great looks. The Warriors have 3 games remaining in the month of March, 2 of which are against teams near the bottom of the standings. Thompson has been fantastic as of late, averaging 18.4 points per game while shooting 41% from three-point range in March, his highest three-point shooting percentage in any month this season. Over his last 19 games, Thompson has made 76 threes, the most out of any player in the league during this span, according to The Athletic's Anthony Slater. I feel good, Thompson told Slater. I'd like to repeat this performance tomorrow night in Orlando because these games are so crucial obviously. This big performance for Klay against the Heat is significant for many different reasons. Not only did the Warriors get a much-needed victory to remain one full game ahead of the Rockets in the standings, but Thompson has now made at least 5 triples in 4 of his last 6 games. In order for them to be the contending threats they know they can be, the Warriors need Klay's offensive production. And you, fan, what do you think about the situation of Klay Thompson? Leave your opinion in the comments.